Behold, the coffee! More seriously, hello and welcome to this small little tour of my current factory in Satisfactory. It's definitely not like the biggest factory ever made. I mean, I'm still new to the game. I only have 100 hours in this game, so I'm still learning all kinds of things and putting it all together. But this is the current factory that I have put together, or the main facility, I should say. Got my space elevator right up there, as you saw. Got like one of my little awesome sink dumps there. Got a line for copper, limestone going up right there. Right there is where my main smelter line is, and my hub's still back here. I might need to move it, but let's go on. Yeah, those are my old biomass burners I still haven't gotten rid of, and biomass generators I still use sometimes. Not the generators, the constructors and whatnot for making biofuel. Alright, and as you can see here, this is one of my main smelting area. I built this space with plenty of space to build out and expand these smelters as time goes on. Which, right now, I think they're still doing good overall. I mean, like you can see that they're actually kind of flooded where I'm not using everything. Well, this lane constantly is because I do have two separate channels. Oh, and I got my little rafters up there that I'd kind of been building. This factory is still a work in progress. When they come out here, they have them divide into 4 different lanes. I didn't combine them at this point, so I kind of kept them separate. I really just like the look of running them along the wall here, and they end up coming over to my different factory rooms, like right here. Do. Yeah. Let's jump up there. There we go. Like, I've set up like the main floor, a bunch of different rooms like this for constructing basic stuff. Got iron plates here. Got rods there. Then the rods, I do actually divert some of them over to the room nearby to produce screws. And then those kind of go outside a little bit just because I couldn't fit them there, and then swing around to down there to where I got more rooms like this, except those produce, you know, the copper plates, the copper wire, and cabling. But moving on is this jump up here. This is kind of my in-between floor that I had planned to take out at some point. Don't know when. Was my original idea for trying to sort things, which has been hit and miss. I mean, it's helped a bit with me keeping things organized, but it didn't work quite as well as I wanted to, partially due to my own designs with it. Like, the idea was, you know, I have, you know, my factories, their outputs connect to this line at one point, use a splitter to divert half of it to over here for storage, so, you know, I can just grab stuff conveniently. Then the other half goes down to the other side to be carried to other parts of the factory. But I didn't really design it too well with ease of, you know, climbing upwards and upwards while separating onto the floors. I didn't really think about that when I started moving up, so like, this part here is fine, but I really should have made like a small divided section to where it gets to the other floor. It starts to go in, you get a splitter, and the splitter lets it like go into that floor as well as then gets diverted back out easily to go up another rung, so to speak. Then I started getting messy again with one point with my manufacturers deciding like I'll just pull this stuff out here around the side of the building. But anyway, on to the second floor, because I don't consider this the second floor. This is the interim floor. It's the in-between. It's maintenance. I don't know. Alright, then here's the second floor. I got a couple of ramps here because I had built these because I wanted to like do a whole warehouse overhang kind of thing to where you know you could walk around catwalks and watch your machines haven't really quite finished fleshing that out overall, but yeah, this floor has pretty much primarily assemblers. We're making things like the reinforced plate right there, which I'm using an alternate stitched plate recipe because I just really like that one more than the original, especially early game, which I was lucky enough to get that as like my first recipe from a hard drive, because then you don't compete, have screws competing with the rotors here. Then I got a module, the frames here. Suppose then right yonder I got iron being brought up from this deposit for steel production, as well as I have coal that's shipped in from elsewhere that's getting brought up as I didn't jump as well as I thought I would, but yeah, I got my founders here for steel. The design to where I can put more foundries in on this side to expand it a bit. I also did put like a storage here just for a buffer for steel, just in case like there was a short-term increase in demand, it could more easily flow. Yeah. Then right next to that, the concrete, as you probably would have guessed from seeing the limestone being brought up here. Then right next to it, I do have my encased beams being produced since they use concrete as well. As you can see, the factory's not like entirely structurally complete with the decorative wise. It's very much a work in progress. I did start to get messier when I got to the third floor. Like I said, I wasn't maintaining the organization I kind of want to do. But, I mean, comes from still being new, I suppose. Then here's the first automated line for parts for the space elevator, which I've been working on other things so much and not progressing that it gets past tier 6 to 7, 8, that these things are now full of space elevator parts for project assembly. But yeah, because the conveyors here are a bit messier. This entire floor right now is set up for those three parts right now. Bringing those in, the rotors, what have you in. Did I have? Oh wait, except for one thing right here, I had motors being produced. Since I didn't have those being produced on the floor below due to lack of space. Then right next door, moving on over yonder. Also, you can see as you can see, I started using like the wall power poles and whatnot, just because they are so definitely great for organization. So as the wall conveyors are they look nice overall too. As you can see, like right here, I kind of got more messy with the conveyor since I brought that here, then moved it over there. But you know, it works. It works at the moment. I only have these two manufacturers. One set for the heavy modular frame. The other here is set up for manufacturing computers, which I have their storage here because I haven't moved that to get it elsewhere. I still need to figure that out. But that's the main facility here. I'll show you the other smaller places I have set up kind of going on. You could actually see one from here. There is like where I have Caterium mining and quickwire making going on and what have you, and I'll take a look at that real fast. So be right back. Alright, and here on the main floor for leaving my facility, which I built this like whole ramp thing just because I felt like doing it. It's probably not the best use of space, but I like it. Let's just load that up with more biofuel. I should switch to fuel, but have not started assembly of like fuel canisters and what have you. So let's roll this out here, show you the little small truck stations I have set up here. Up there. Like this, definitely kind of slipshoddily thrown together. As you can see, this is where my coal is coming in from a pier node that's over there near my main coal generators. And that's all it does here is bring coal, and I kind of messily brought it over here because I'm using the coal for fuel for my trucks at current just because it's very plentiful and easy right now to utilize. Right here is where my plastics and rubber are coming in. Right here I got my circuit boards being produced because it seemed like, you know, easiest place to set them up. I have 2 industrial storage containers here for rubber and plastic. And right here is my other truck station, which I have set up with a smart splitter, as you can see. It separates out the rubber and plastic that the truck brings from my facility over there, which I will get to as well. Also have the awesome sink here for overflow, which it's just eating all the rubber right now because I'm not utilizing rubber yet, so I'm pretty much completely overflown on it. Overflowing, yeah, overflowing. Overflowing, yeah. Anyway, let's go to the coal power station. Actually, no, I need to go over to my Caterium real quick. Stop. And this is pretty sad. This is my only hypertube right now. I really should build more, and my blade runners are glitching. But basic smelting operation overall, you know, nothing fancy. Deuterium being brought, smelted, and run through these constructors to build quick wire. Which apparently I've used the surplus that I had backed up because the smelters I have can supply about 6 constructors, and I think I have 8 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 8 structures per 2s and quick wire. I did a smart splitter here as well for quick wire overflow, just to get the sweet awesome tickets. Making some more plate over there instead of shipping it here, just because, you know, it was more convenient. And then another thing I need to figure out when I'm gonna start shipping it to my facility and whatnot is the AI limiters that are being produced here. But, yeah, it was just a save that got me stuck. So I have this thing pretty much almost filled with them, and I only have 3 of these making them, so you can tell by that how long I've had this just sitting here collecting them. Anyway, that's that little facility, because it just seemed easier to do it off-site rather than try to do everything at my main facility right now. But let us proceed to the coal power now. And then here is what was previously my main power generation facility. All my coal. I'm not gonna go over there since that's just the factory and miner for the coal that's being shipped to the other factory, so there's not really anything to it at all. But I currently have 16 coal power plants. They're all supplied by a single pure coal node. Oop. That I had end up splitting right here. All are going here, and these 3 extractors run 8 generators. Those 3 run another 8. Wait, do I have 20? I might have miscounted. I think I might have 20 coal power. Yeah, I have 20 coal generators, not 16. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I have 20, yeah. I'm not sure why I suddenly thought I had 16, because, yeah, I set up the trio of extractors to run 8, because you can do that effectively using these pumps to help split the flow of this extractor, which is something I learned from watching some Satisfactory tip videos, specifically the I actually got the general idea for this layout from the YouTuber I'm Kibitz, who does a lot of Satisfactory videos, and you know, he has some pretty good tips and advice in a lot of them for new people like me. And you know, while I don't try to like carbon copy people in games like this, just because, you know, part of the fun of a game like this is building your own stuff, this setup for coal is just like, no, this makes really good sense. I really love this idea. I mean, it's a good tip either way. So, but that's why I kind of followed that particular one, because it's like, oh no, using this to split to power 4 generators each. That's how it works. But you know, even though I was kind of following the design, I also tried to kind of make it my own a little bit, not in terms of like claiming I came up with or some BS like that, just, you know, design wise, with doing the slope here into the extractors right here, you know, just try to make it aesthetically kind of how I want it set up. But like I said, I recommend checking out I'm Kibit's channel if you're into Satisfactory or new to it, because he has a good amount of useful, good amount. He has useful videos that are fun to watch as well as give good tips, is what I'm trying to say. But there's a few different Satisfactory YouTubers that have good tips and advice. Try to remember the name of the other guy I've seen some videos on. I think it was X Total Eclipse or Total Eclipse X. I can't remember. I know his name's Total Eclipse. I just can't remember if he had like an X before or after in terms of how it's set up. But he also does a lot of new player kind of guides or helpful guides of like how to set up this efficiently, how to do ratios for production, and stuff like that. He's also another good one to check out. I'm going to go onward to my final facility. And here I'll cross my little bridge to my gas facility, following my other truck. Well, take my... Well, yeah, it is a little bit truck compared to the one I'm driving, but my other truck station is being supplied by a tractor. I really should probably expand this road a little bit just so there's enough space for me to go by this truck without having to pull off to the side at times. And it kind of sometimes it kind of gets stuck there. Works fine as far as I know. What goes there? I don't know if I remove this one, if that'll help. Then I'll like start turning here, be able to get to there. That might help it out. But this is my main refining area right at current, where I also have more power generation going on. I have a current max capacity of about 2,800 megawatts roughly. I have 9 fuel generators here, but I don't have my consumption balanced, so ooh. Okay, I need to actually flush these. See, that's what I was talking about. I don't have my balance. Right now, I'm not consuming the same amount of fuel. I'm not consuming as much fuel as I'm making, and I'm backing up on the residual, the heavy oil residue over time. But I mean, fortunately, I have these 3 big buffers, so it takes it a good while to actually build up, because the other 2 buffers here are for fuel, which currently they are doing just fine and dandy on. How's that buffer doing? It's draining from other places, but I have basically 3 oil nodes in use right now. 1 pure one that's supplying 8 refineries here, and 2 normals back behind these 2 that are supplying these 8. Then I have 8 plastic refineries here, produce plastic, plus these 2 on the end that are making plastic, and the rest are producing rubble. I might change the goes back to rubber when I start using more rubber, but that's just kind of how this is going right now. And I do have buffers here, but at currents they are empty because my truck can just kind of take everything it needs. Then that's my kind of base at the moment. It's not the biggest base ever. I mean, it's definitely not a mega base. I consider it a large base, probably a small large base, so to speak. You know, on the smaller side of large, but you know, that's my own view. One thing I will say that I think everyone should do, personally, that just makes sense is once you start building up is to get a truck like this for projects. Just because you can have them store stuff in addition to you storing stuff in your inventory lets you carry a lot of stuff. I mean, it's probably one of those very obvious tips, you know. Until you build like trains or something to help you really carry stuff like that, because I think I'm Kidbits in one of his playthroughs like has project trains that I'm assuming hold just like all the materials he needs to build like a mega project and get it close to the area where he's building and what have you. But this works for me at the moment since I am not doing mega projects myself. And the trucks are pretty fast. I mean, these can go. I have blade runners, and these things can outrun me if so long as you know you don't get bogged down in terrain. That's the stickler. But that's something like if you're just exploring, maybe not take this everywhere. But for going to do projects, help bring us your supplies, very helpful. Very, very helpful. Though, I'd like to thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in another video down the road. And there comes my truck again. Let's see, does he do it right? Okay, yeah, he got through because he didn't back up this time. He kind of turned, I wonder if I took that one off, if that would work, or if he'd bounce off that. I mean, if I'm not here, it'll work perfectly either way. I'm just more talking if I'm hanging around here. Anyway, I'm rambling off. I was closing out, you know, hope to see you in another video, and bye for now.